Welcome back to Threshold of Revelation. This is session 50, entitled Unending Hunger. Last session, um, Bagman. Bagman. Lots of Bagman time. Bagman. Then there was more Bagman. There are Bagmen, or is it one Bagman? There are all of the Bagmen. Bagmans. Uther just got pulled into the bag along with the soldier who was holding the bag open. The bag is no longer being pulled closed because the cincher, the one bag echo that was being used to do that, um, was pulled into the greater bagman. And now, more and more so, this bagman is kind of increasing in size and scale. We begin with in the initiative tracker that you see on your side. I apologize, those who are viewing, and also for me for later reference. The initiative tracker will not show as the GM is seeing it. The master GM side has stuff that the player side will not be able to see. That said,
John,
yeah,
forgive me for interrupting you.
all over
Your
the
Twitch
place.
is showing that it's Rush of Madness session 33.
Perfection. I love this too. Okay, yeah, and everybody's in the wrong square.
And we're in New Horizons.
We're having a great day.
And
Definitely
my name
wrong
is
squares.
Jeremy.
I will change that real quick. I know how to fix that one. You are now Andy.
Cool.
You
Dope.
are now Brent.
I
Joseph.
get to be everybody.
Joseph is now in the right spot, and Brent is running the game.
Good job, Brent.
I mean, if he wants to, he can go ahead.
He graduated.
If anybody wants to run a game, keep in mind that is always open. Okay, so back to it then. I've got that fixed, and I'll be fixing the stream name here as we continue. Uther, I do want to give you the docket though as I move on. Go ahead and take your turn at your pleasure. Yeah.
Uther just lays face down on the map, and the guard takes a dodge action.
Okay. It will go to bag o'clock. Okay. So the pulling process. Everybody on the map. So that would be everybody besides Nyx and Sanat needs to go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
28.
Success.
Getting there.
You're still raging, correct?
Yes.
20. That's successful.
Strength saving throw, yes?
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. So, if I'm... You still super...
You're
So
very
quiet.
quiet, Joseph.
Why do you keep running away from us?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I'm gone from the area, does that mean my elemental disappears? Or
So
does it stay?
no, the elemental is it's a summon, so it lasts its duration. The main problem at this point is you can't issue it command, so it's just going to keep
But it
doing
doesn't
the same thing.
Technically,
it did.
yeah, I was like, technically, I'm not supposed to give it a different command every time. It just follows like a attack them or whatever, which is what I told it to do.
It's
Attack
going to
the
keep
Bagman.
doing that, yeah, until you were to change the order. But since you're not there to do so, you cannot. Yeah.
Sounds good.
So the only one that failed here would be Jeremy.
And the elemental.
Do you want to spend? Oh yeah, and the elemental. Do you want to spend inspiration to fix that or no?
Nobody has it.
I don't think we have any.
Oh, okay. All right then.
Unless someone's holding out. Nah.
Nope, not I.
You are dragged 15 feet, and because you failed the save, you're also restrained. Okay.
Hey, buddy, you're here.
And the conjured elemental.
You can hear quiet sobbing.
I didn't want to go in the bag.
I've been there.
And
Uther is the equivalent of like a 6 or a 7-year-old to the rest of you guys, and he just found out nightmares are real. He's broken.
I don't want to alarm you, but there may be a boogeyman or boogeyman.
yeah, like everything's like bright eyes in the darkness, and like there's this huge.
He is laying face down on the ground and crying like
Yeah.
a child.
Bodhi, you're up.
Good for him. Yeah, I'm going to cast a spell. Let's do an old favorite. I am going to twin the spell Vortex Warp at my good friends Silas and Ezekiel. You know what? No, sorry, Ezekiel and Uther out of
And
pity, and I'm
Ezekiel
gonna.
still has the lodestar, correct?
Yes, I need him out of the bag. I am pointing them up and out of the bag.
Okay. Bodhi, they can resist, I believe. So if they don't want to leave, they can do so. Do you wish to leave, Uther?
I don't resist.
Okay. And Ezekiel?
He begrudgingly accepts.
Out.
Okay. So I want you to very specifically give me the language of how you're teleporting them out. And I need exact measurements. Obviously, your character would not understand the precision that's required here. But yeah, just tell me, I vortex warp them, and then the distance you shoot them up.
Oh yeah, Vortex Warp has a wild distance, doesn't it?
Yep.
I don't want to put them on the roof or something.
Within
wacky.
range of you would be 90 feet, so you could shoot them out
Right.
90.
I can only just see the outside of the bag. I can't see like the ceiling of the room we're in or anything
Correct.
like that.
It's basically
Okay.
like a blur, yeah. Because you're tiny, and it's well out of focus.
Knowing that I don't know any better, and knowing that, or assuming that Sanat got out safely, I'm gonna go with 30 feet.
Because you know the distance of face up.
Straight shot. Yes.
Perfect. So Sanat, I need you to go ahead and make just for the flavorly fun times, make a dexterity saving throw. Okay. So a massive dog appears above you and drops. You are able to dodge out of the way very nimbly. And shortly after, like maybe a split second after, a Goliath drops out as well. And I'll move you over to the shovel for the time being. The lodestar is out. You will see that the attention of the bagman shifts towards the opening. And after Bodhi's turn, he will use a legendary action.
We're not done here.
He is going to... Sorry, I knew the lodestar would escape. I just didn't know if the lodestar was going to escape with people in the spot or not. I'm gonna say that he is going to... Yeah, he's going to grow insanely large in the map space.
What?
To Silas. So much so that he's actually going to displace the elemental like towards the edge of the map. And in his growth, those of you who are outside, you see a normal-sized bagman hand come out of the bag and grab a hold of one side and then the other. That's all you see.
Silas starts cackling happily.
One side of what? He grabs hold of one side of
So
what?
you're looking at the bag mouth. You would see
Yes.
a hand come out and grab the opening of the mouth of the bag, and then another one kind of coming out like they're kind of getting ready to do one of these. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm looking at the
Oh, okay.
screen.
So like hand
Getting
comes
ready
up,
to do one of what? Yeah.
hand comes up, and it looks like they're getting ready to do one of these.
Got it.
Wait, Scrambly? What's Scrambly? Is my voice?
She was
Scrambly?
talking about the. No, she was talking about the placements.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I got him.
I think we're
Sorry,
cool now.
just making sure.
Go.
Okay, so Sanat, you are upstairs. I'm going to move us to the map that we are on all together. I hope. Yep, it worked.
Are we?
Mustard. Okay, so Sanat,
There we go.
Yes.
Don't let's be silly.
you are technically above this space. You would be inside of this room here. So I will move you to it, and I'll also put a large... actually, it would be in this room here, and the dog is very big. I will say in the dashing, you would have exited the room. I'm going to kill that door. And then Uther and Ezekiel, you can discuss your placement. like the fun way you're prone regardless because the way you appeared was kind of against the ceiling. So the way the vortex warp had to shift you, it had to drop you. Does that make sense?
I'm swaddled like a baby and crying in his shoulder.
I was hoping you would say that. Could it be the case that Ezekiel fell flat on his tum-tum and then you kind of landed on his back and are just like,
No, opposite, because he's embracing me.
Okay, so
There, little Goliath.
there was a tumble midair, and so there's like a big
He's holding me
cuddly,
like a baby.
warm dog.
Sometimes you want to be the little spoon, you know?
Yeah. It's more comforting. I get that. I feel that vibe.
Makes you
Okay.
feel safe.
So, Sanat, if you want to get downstairs, you're not terribly far. You're just a flight down. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 would put you at the foot of the steps if you're trying to rush back down. Is that fair?
Okay.
And so you'd be able to see, and I'm going to put something to denote it because I don't have anything as of yet. I'm just going to do like a red circle, I guess. Sure, red circle. Let's fill it in too so it's really noticeable. So that red circle space is where the bag is.
Okay. And all we can see is the
It's the bag.
the hands.
The hands are coming out. That's it. That's all we see. But it's enough of the creature to be able to target it.
Okay. Seems a bit dangerous to attack it while there's people still in the bag, though. I feel like.
If you want to hold, you can. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold. I don't want to risk burning the bag or something.
Nyx, you see Sanat step down, look like they're about to cast a spell, and do something, but they kind of halt, and you're kind of noticing that there might be a reason for that.
I look at Sanat, try to read his face. I step forward, and I cast Fireball into the bag.
Okay, so you cast Fireball straight into the bag. All right, I need everyone inside of the bag to go ahead and make a Dexterity saving throw against Fireball.
DC
God damn it.
17.
Yo, Bodhi is on top of his game
That's
today.
me, Chody, and the guard.
Yeah.
Don't I have resistance to fire with that axe?
I don't think it. I don't know if it gives you resistance.
Well,
does it?
I also have advantage for
Well,
my
you don't see it coming.
danger. I don't see it coming right above
So,
me.
so,
So
I have a question, John.
Remember,
That's
you're basically the size of an old school 25 millimeter miniature, right? And you're deep inside of a bag that's to your spatiality as a 25 millimeter miniature, 100 to 300 feet high.
We
We got hosed, Jody.
You see the
Yeah,
opening, but you do not.
I'm
Yeah.
focusing on dinner. That's all I care about. I don't care about looking at the bag.
No worries. Okay, so 31 damage is the damage that will be dealt to you if you failed.
Ask a question, John.
Fire away.
So, just from Nyx's perspective, he sees these big hands and the head coming out.
The head's not
And
out
he
yet. It looks like
Okay,
it's about
but it's yeah, right. So he fires into that in his mind, thinking that that will take the brunt of the damage, and maybe
You're gonna
prevent the fireball from going into the bag itself completely.
You're gonna see why that's a flawed idea.
Well, that's what Nyx would think.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain how this pops out in the next couple of
The
seconds.
Bagman is the space that we were in, though,
Correct.
which is why I hesitated.
Finally,
I'm not intelligent enough to be a wizard.
we are understanding the synergy between extra dimensional spaces and this entity. Okay, perfect. So
So if he leaves, are we still in there?
here's fun.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll
Here-
get there.
Here's fun. So who else? The soldier, right? Okay,
Yeah,
got
the
it.
guard.
I gotta roll his
So
dex.
Silas was in the Bagman, and the Bagman was inside Silas.
Nasty.
That hurts my head.
Do you remember how excited I was when I jumped into his mouth? There was so much. Oh, yeah, I guess that sentence out of context is weird. But the point
I'm
is,
taking 16 damage.
so yeah, you'll be taking half. And then
Is it
everybody,
half rounded up or down? I apologize.
It's half rounded down.
Okay, 15.
And then everybody in the room with the bag needs to make a dexterity saving throw. You have advantage.
Another one?
No, in the room, not in the bag.
Room.
So next the fireball caster would have to make a dexterity
You
saving
just
throw
cast fireball at your feet, my guy. Yeah. Remember,
at my feet.
the bag.
Jody, you do resist fire
the
damage.
bag is the bag. It's still there.
I do.
And you
Yes.
just blew it up.
From what?
Aeonian Golden Axe.
Okay, so
That's what I thought. So the golden axe reduced it, and then
Rage.
rage would halve it.
yeah, so it's a double halving. Well, actually, you can't gain resistance twice. So you have resistance to fire damage from rage, and you have resistance to fire damage from the axe. They are the same thing. So you're just
Okay.
taking half.
So
Yeah.
okay, I did that then.
No worries.
Take 15.
Yeah, it's specifically key on the wording. Had you saved, it would have been having a half, which would have been
All good.
Cool. But so Nyx, when you cast the fireball in, you watch as it detonates, and you see it appear small at first in your eyes. To everyone else, you see a massive fireball appear above you, and then descend down as it begins to shrink. But it seems to maintain its large size. It's just that the size of the flames change size. So basically, the best way to kind of explain that is like if you're looking at a TV and you're watching, something, and you zoom in on it. Like that's kind of the effect that you're getting below. For those of you that are inside, outside, there's this disjunction where it looks like it's the size of the things in the bag for a moment, but then it erupts to being an actual fireball. The bag is burnt and ripped to shreds. The bagman's hands rescind back into the bag. And I've already rolled the D100s for everyone else inside of the bag, which it wasn't a horribly horrible chance of you being sprinted out to different locations, but fortunately, every single one of you, including the soldier, is shunted out of the remnants of the bag and displaced onto the floor. So
Nyx is like, I did it!
you all plop out
I did it!
I'm gonna kick your ass.
onto the.
I got
one
hurt
thing.
too.
I asked one thing.
What you
When I said what my plan is, I said one thing.
What you would also note too is that
Wasn't this our bag of holding that had all of our things in
No,
it?
that's not ours.
Okay.
It's one of Shed's.
what you will note too is none of the articles that you saw inside of the bag came out with you when you came out, and the other matter at hand. Those who were in the bag, that would be Bodhi and Silas only.
And the guard.
The guard doesn't matter. He doesn't have any magic items.
We care about it.
Whoa! Rude.
No, he doesn't have any magic items. He's safe from this effect. I need you to tell me how many, or you need to go through your magic items, and we need to do it together. This is, again, I apologize. This is
Question.
just a part of the trick. Go ahead.
Many of my things were in the bag of holding, which I sent with Splug away.
Yeah, if you don't have them
I
on
also
you,
had my robe of
just what you have on you.
plenty.
Just the stuff
My
you have on
pockets.
you. So it'd just be the magic item you have on you. So starting with you, Bodhi, just listing the ones that you have on you. Go ahead and roll a D100, say the name of it, and then roll that D100.
Magical items.
And there are 3 things that can happen to the item. And I'll explain before you make the roll so you know what is happening when you roll that D100, okay?
Okay.
If
So
it is-
on my person.
Yep. If it is over 40%, if it's 41 to 100, the item is still on you. Nothing happens to it. It's fine. If it is between 11 and 40, you do not have that magic item anymore. It is in the bag still.
Can I give them bardic inspiration?
It doesn't work on D100s. If it is 1 through 10, you have that magic item, and then I have to roll randomly to determine what happens to the magic in it.
Neat.
It can potentially become disjunctioned. It could potentially become doubled. It could
Could it be
potentially gain a curse or a blessing. It could
10 and under.
potentially
10 and
10 and
under.
under.
Great.
10
Wait,
and
no,
under.
I like those
sorry,
damn warning.
Sorry.
Roll those dice.
Hold on.
72.
Thank
it's
you
a
for
board.
creating a chant. Because I did it wrong. 1 through 10 is gone. 11 through 40 is disjunction fun times. The higher, it doesn't matter. 72 sucks. What do you got next? What was,
72 is
He still uses his
good.
weapon.
what was that for?
Dagger of warding.
Okay, next item.
We listen with our ears.
I was also trying to make sure I was reading my notes right. I'm sorry.
We were chanting.
And there was
It's
chanting.
exciting.
There's a lot of excitement.
Well, hold on. The chanting helps, so don't discourage the chanting. We like the
All right,
chanting.
keep chanting.
Random bullshit.
Feywild Shard.
Through 40. What?
Can you
No,
only roll
what the
72s? Can
I
you-
don't know, boys.
How was that
I'm
possible?
very puzzled.
Damn.
Jade Cyric Stone?
I was gonna say if you roll another
17.
72, now that is some wild shit. Okay, cool.
Oh, and
This-
it's the crazy one, too.
This
Yeah.
is the Cyric Stone.
Yeah.
The what now?
Oh god.
It makes me special.
It wasn't even the full
we know.
Cyric
You've
Stone.
never
This
heard
is
of
just the one that gave you prestidigitation only. This isn't even a full Cyric Stone.
It let me do my,
No.
Oh, yeah. No, Feywild Shard is what I'm thinking of.
This is just the one that gave you the opportunity to cast press. So this is interesting. Hold on.
About to be a lot cooler.
I hope so.
Okay.
Or a curse. And I hope so.
no, I think this is actually where we get pretty
It
stupid.
now casts True Polymorph.
I love stupid.
Oh god, this is
Does
really
sound like
Yeah.
us.
Yay, I'm a goat again.
No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, it won't manhandle the owner. I don't
You threw off his groove.
It erased all my centuries of memories of torture. Yay.
Syrinx. Okay, what?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a thing in my.
I've still got a
Notes, yeah.
couple.
I know that on the
You
other
care
side,
about potions?
people heard a boom, boom, boom a bunch. So, it being a jade means that it is a weakened variant of a true Cyric stone. With what I just rolled, which was a 20 on my d20, it means that it augments to the greatest potential version of the magic item that is held. So if it's like a +1 magic item that gets disjunction in this way, it becomes a +3 magic item in this way. So this one would become a true green Cyric stone. And a
Okay.
true green Cyric stone says, while attuned to this item, you can attune to one additional item. Additionally, while you are holding this item, you can cast any transmutation cantrip, period, without components, using your highest ability score as your spellcasting ability for the spell.
Still gonna kick my
Every
ass.
single
Yes.
transmutation
No.
cantrip is now at your fingertips.
I'll have to study up on how cool that is. Do you care about potions?
Potions, yeah, because they can also get a 20.
Do you want them in batches?
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right,
I'll
let's
roll-
do.
I'll
I've
roll-
only got the one.
I'll roll individually on my side. but they'll
Gotcha.
all
I've
get
got the
same
one
budget.
ogre strength.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll it, or are you rolling?
You roll your d100s. So
47.
It's not. No
I think that's
disjunctions.
boring.
Yeah, boring stuff.
Boring good. I've got 8 potions of healing.
Go with it. Boring good.
77. Boring good.
Also, we're still in that little 70 window that you keep hitting.
I don't know how
There's
the
been a
grouping
7 in every single dice you've rolled.
It is my favorite number.
C's get degrees.
Anyway, I've got that quote unquote ever burning torch that I keep forgetting about.
It's not technically a magic item.
79.
It's not technically a magic item, so it's fine.
B plus.
So we'll use this for whatever it was next.
Oh, okay. Close rations, tinder block.
Everburning Torch is a spell that has continual flame cast on it. Like,
Got it.
anything else?
Residuum.
Yeah, it's not a magic item, it's an ingredient.
Okay.
Yes.
Jar of Angel's Glow.
Also not a magic item, ingredient. So magic item will be something that you would equip.
Ounce of Soulwell creature. I think most of these were in the bag, actually.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
Most of the jar stuff.
Silas.
Oh, and my cool glasses, cool goggles.
Oh, the cool goggles. We get those identified?
Pretty sure.
The pilot's goggles, aren't they?
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
no. Mine are for mine are
No,
different.
his
They're
lets them cast identify.
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
just cool. I don't
Um,
remember what else.
they are
was there
technically
to 'em.
unique, so yeah, go ahead and roll for them.
Oh, are we using the 79?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Then they're fine. Cool.
Okay.
Silas, magic items. Starting where you want to start, moving on down.
The wave cutter sword.
No, technically not a magic item.
Okay. My goggles.
These are just dark visions.
15.
So that's going to be a random. Hold on.
And Shodi's better.
Yeah, you want screw up rolls right here, buddy.
Well, it's not great. So it's going to be disjunctioned, meaning
Yeah,
that
see?
they're normal.
There we go.
They're normal goggles. They no longer dodge
Yeah.
vision sight.
All right.
Oh.
Let's keep rolling those low 15s. Let's
Let's-
ruin some stuff.
Next item.
Great Sword of Giant Slaying.
Go with it. They're
60.
fine.
Holy crap. Okay. Ring Bracers of Defense.
Okay.
Bad news, user.
It's also fine.
43.
What happened?
The sword of giant slaying
Ring
is
of
fine.
Protection. Yeah, there we go.
They don't
Which
make
one
it.
was that?
They don't make it. Whatever that ring was,
Yeah, Ring of Protection.
it's gone.
Oh, we
The
needed that.
the Great Axe,
Okay. It's fine.
57.
Yeah, at least they didn't
I
get
think
zipped off.
that's what I have. So I lost my goggles and a Ring of Protection.
The goggles are still technically with you. They just don't have
They're-
magic anymore.
Still goggles.
Yeah.
God, I skipped one. I
They
apologize.
look cool.
What was it?
The periaptive wound closure.
Right.
Oh shit, that one's important.
That was a big one. And D100.
It's fine.
98.
Not too bad. Only one item got taken away. That's, not bad. 1 out of 10 chance for them going away. So, a lot of rolls too. I was hoping for a couple, but one's fine.
Got the wrong people in the bag.
I wish I'd have been in the bag and my sword would have been cursed. I'd have been so happy.
Can't believe I can't believe this. Is
I
the
had a lot of magic stuff.
This is the second Cyric stone I've given to a party, but unfortunately, this one does not come with a pre-built-in curse. So that makes me super sad. I can't fuck with you with it. It's just awesome.
What are you gonna do? True green.
Yes. And I'll post the stats on that here in a sec. But yeah.
Nick starts composing a song about his defeating of the Bagman. Lyrics to be to come later.
What would I know why I'm out of this bag?
There was a great flash.
Make a perception check?
5.
No. Literally everything exploded around you. You thought you were dying. The void seemed to be consuming inwards, and then you felt like you were shat out into reality.
I continue raging and start hitting through walls, closest thing possible. I start hitting.
Everything's kind of like lightly singed with fireball, and you're just like, ah!
Yep, I'm flipping out.
I love it.
The greatest meal he ever had just disappeared.
Yeah.
That is exactly why he's.
It was a
angry.
fighter.
He wanted to stay and fight it and eat it. He's very angry.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I wanted to get to eat that guy twice.
Oh, that's interesting. Make a wisdom saving throw, Silas.
13.
Sufficient for now.
And he's blessed.
Yeah, sufficient for now.
In spite of it all.
It definitely is something that, like, after a fashion, you'll get over. It's not something that's going to linger long in your mind, I don't think.
The taste?
The taste will, but what I mean is like the you'll basically be kind of more rational in your idea of it. Like, it's now a taste you want to replicate, not so much a taste that you all-consumingly want to get back to. Does that make sense?
Okay, that's fine. That'll work. He calms down a little bit then, but yeah.
Yeah.
He's still frustrated.
Out of character, we were playing with some in that kind of dynamic. We were playing with some very kind of extra-worldly, like demon prince related shit. So that would have been interesting. But yeah, plot, you're all out, and Uther and Ezekiel, after your cuddle, you guys head downstairs.
Sure.
Uther's like, I
Just,
don't
a
go
bit,
anywhere.
just another minute.
I
He has
live,
to carry me. I'm still crying.
I live in the dog hair now.
I got you out as quick as I could.
Sorry, I got boogers in your fur.
Oh, are
You
we
were
gonna,
there for
It's
12
washed out,
seconds.
it's fine.
I didn't even think to roll for the fire elemental.
Oh no, yeah, he
But
It
he would have
dies
been
and goes
immune
back
to the
to his
fire
native plane.
damage. Would he just be out here with us, or just dismissed?
The reason why the rolls were made was to see if they got consumed. Let me
It
see.
can't. It would just go back to his native plane.
Yeah,
It's elemental. It'll just unsummon.
yeah, it's.
Yeah, I was like, he wouldn't have taken the fire damage, but he would have,
I
I
would
guess been kicked out.
Yeah, I would say because he wasn't burning, like, technically due to the fireball, and the fireball was the thing that was kind of breaching the lines, he got,
Which means he just went.
him and the Ring of Protection were dragged down into nothingness, yeah.
So we gotta go to the plane of fire where the elemental came from to get the ring of protection back.
He grabbed it. He grabbed it on its way.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say that is yes or no. I will, because it is a funny concept to me. Joseph, I would like for you to roll a dice to GM a D100, and I will know whether or not the next time that conjured elemental comes back, whether or not he has a ring of protection on him or not. That is funny. Okay.
And whether or not it's carrying a vendetta against you.
I would not do that because they are.
You son of a bitch!
He's either coming back with a ring box or a hit list.
You can't know what I've seen. You can't. Here's your fucking ring. He's got like an eye patch.
The bad breakup.
Like a moody fire elemental. I love it. But no, yeah. I'll know whether or not that's the case or not. So next time you cast it, we'll obviously get to have the either like happy cheers or sad boos.
So, Bagman, done? We don't know
he's
enough
not
about
dead,
Bagman. I'm gonna be picking Sadat's brain to see if he could conjure out anything else. Because he was just moving freely between them, right?
I'm actually going to give Uther a fun times roll on this. I'd like for you to go ahead and make a survival roll with advantage, Uther.
24.
Yeah. You know how hunters can be when they're tracking something that they truly desire. And the way that the Bagman was pursuing the Lodestar, based on everything that's kind of, brought forward, you know that it's probably not going to quit anytime soon.
We can't
Only
stay
we
at
had let
Shin's
it get
house
out of the
anymore.
bag before we attacked it.
Does he say that out loud, or does he just know that?
I just told Jeremy that's what his character would know. He can say it out loud or not. It's up to him.
We should leave Shen's house.
And never come back.
If you guys want to finish it off, we can. You can.
I don't know that we know how to finish it off.
I mean, what you guys are doing seemed pretty effective.
No, I don't know how we could find the Bagman again.
We can.
Yeah, I was like,
bait
that
it.
might have been
It
our only
wants the
like,
Lodestar.
chance.
Our bag of holding plus our Lodestar will bring it to us.
You say that out loud?
Yeah, because if it's hunting the Lodestar now, if it wants that and nothing else, it is coming back for us,
Silas
which
stares
puts
at that with
Splug in
disdain.
great danger.
I can't have that. I cannot have that.
So we either have to bait it out and finish it.
Suggestion, if we decide that is how we want to move forward with this, I'm gonna need at least 4 hours to trance because I used a lot of spell slots.
Yeah, we either bait it out with the Lodestar, or we get rid of our bag of holding and never carry another one.
That makes sense to me.
Smart.
Uther, why don't you explain the situation to Shed? I'll go find Splug and turn my bag inside out for the time being until we get our inventory settled.
Ezekiel
And,
has to leave the house immediately.
Ezekiel, I need you to go take the others, go find a room.
I could cast Liam's tiny hut.
That wouldn't be bad. Go out in, like the middle of the market and put
Camp
it up.
outside somewhere.
Yeah.
Splug is not invited to the sleepover.
Okay.
So I go out with Ezekiel and I'll cast that spell.
Okay. And you obviously allow for your allies to enter and exit when you cast it?
Yep.
Okay, then what's the plan?
I'm gonna see if
Burn the house down?
we
Oh my
can find
gosh.
some just normal bags. And I'm gonna go find Splug, and we're gonna very carefully dump ours out and redistribute.
Brent likes my idea.
Because he and I aren't going into the tiny hut with a bag, with a magic
Well,
bag.
After, I forget, whoever spoke to Shen,
Uther.
he would
I
actually
asked Uther to.
explain that him and his guards throughout the remainder of the night, knowing that this is a real thing and the damage it's caused when a group of conglomerate agents attempted to assail it and presumably failed, that he is not willing to deal with the risk at this time. And he and his guards will go through and open every single one of the extra dimensional spaces and then destroy them throughout the remainder of the evening and into the early morning.
Can argue with that.
And,
Sucks, but you do.
You'll basically see like him doing his best to organize everything as it's coming out and trying to put it to places where it can fit, but you very clearly realize it's basically, what's the terminology? It's a 10 pounds of shit in a 5 pound bag kind of deal. Like, yeah.
Just real quick, the largest room he has and probably the safest space left in the house is his bedroom.
Yeah, well, he's destroying it as well. It's an extra dimensional space, so he's pulling everything out of
Everything's
it
going down to the dungeon.
Yeah, it literally the treasure chest space is no longer like, you say it can get there too, because that was something that was brought up, and so he's like, nah, I'm good. Thank you. I understand how powerful the conglomerate is, and if you guys are saying you're having a hard time fucking with him, my hirelings are not going to be able to do shit. So he is taking the remainder of the evening, or the late, like early morning, and just displacing everything that's in bags and putting it in stacks, trying to settle it into spaces, and doing his best.
We have no way to reach Tekelis from here, right?
Correct. We haven't found a soul well anywhere in the town.
So I thought.
Or we have an indication of one being nearby.
The only idea of one that might be close would be the Tome of the Dead God.
We don't have much else to do now.
We should probably rest, but it's still like late when we finish up, ain't it?
I'm pretty spooked, and I don't want to go out in the dark to fight more monsters.
No.
That's fair.
If there's a Lehman's tiny hut, there's a Lehman's tiny hut.
I just learned a new fear.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty shook right now.
Oh, I love it.
Some of us are better at hiding it, but goddamn.
I appreciate that part.
Question about the robe of many pockets, whatever the thing is that I wear around.
Yeah, so looking at it and looking at it.
Would I know better? Does that work?
So yeah, robe of useful things is what it's called.
Robe of useful things.
And
I
useful
still have a
items.
few pockets that aren't
So
activated yet.
it is a bit different than an extra dimensional space. It's not actually holding items inside of it. Instead, what the patches do is when you pull them off, they transmute into the item that the patch represents.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's different. I did do
It's
some
safe.
research on it. Yeah, so basically, it's not a pocket that you're reaching into and grabbing something. It's a patch you're pulling off of the cloak, and then it becomes the item once it's.
That was my misinterpretation.
No, it's
There
okay.
should be,
I will go ahead and put that back on.
Yeah, it was definitely a misinterpretation that I was sound with, because older robes of useful items were.
It sounds like it's a magic pocket.
Yeah, it was like a pocket. You
Yeah.
pulled something else. It was similar to the Pokemon bag, and I agree. It would.
There should be a hilarious strength check that he cannot pass. So he just wears it and can't use it.
No,
Just keeps pulling on patches, they never come off.
Just a strength DC 5. Like, that guy's gonna fucking fail. I mean, it's Bodhi, right?
Who showed these on?
Why is it so difficult?
I thought they were iron-ons.
But
Have to
yeah,
use some glue or something. Anyway, I'll throw that bad boy back on now that it's
Robe
cool.
of bullshit, more like it.
I'm saying the kind of like middle of the evening.
Gunther, unzip me.
As you're
We
displacing,
need a boat.
you're displacing the items in the bag. You're getting everything situated. Sanat is probably doing the Arcana, like okay, no, like situation, kind of like making sure everything's passing muster, and the robe would do so. But the bag, the intent is to displace everything inside of it and then put it into real bags and then maneuver them. Is that right?
I'm afraid so. Spug's gonna have to put in the extra effort now.
How much weight was in the bag?
Oh golly.
It's gonna be a problem. We're not gonna be able to fly anymore, boys.
Oh yeah. Shit.
I mean, I say we just leave it in the bag. Then if he comes out of the bag, we beat him up there.
Well, we don't know when he'll come for us.
And there's also a situation where he might he might get past your defenses and get
He's
what
very
he wants.
sneaky.
Yeah.
I only barely caught him in the act, and
20
he yanked my
something.
ass out of
Yeah.
this dimension. So we're gonna leave that dog lie if you get my drift here. I'll do some math. Give me a few minutes.
We're gonna sell our shit
and I
for
are
gems.
Splug and I are doing some inventory.
Now, from my side, I'm pretty sure Splug's gonna be fine carrying it. Like,
I don't doubt Splug, but I didn't consider the aircraft.
Could be an issue.
Yeah. Now, Splug could pick up the aircraft. Just carry that around.
Yeah. He's a muscular some bitch.
He's got a
Who needs land vehicles when Splug can just carry it?
He's got
He'll do like a head glider kind of situation. He'll Flintstone it.
He's only got a strength score of 16, but for the purposes of carrying capacity, his strength is treated as 3 times as large. So his strength is considered a 48 for the purposes of carrying things.
Only carrying.
Yes, nothing else.
Not pulling or pushing.
Not pulling or pushing.
Carrying.
Just
Okay.
carrying. Very much the put it on his back and he carries it.
Oh, he can totally carry the ship.
Well, he's still small size, so that still takes it into equation as well. But yeah, carrying capacity.
What was I carrying around in this? Potions are on my person.
So small, there's no modifier actually. So it is strength times 15. So.
Question: while a bag of holding is inverted, is it inert?
It is.
It can
be then
I'm on the
back.
fence about trusting that.
It can then be folded back to become uninert. But yeah,
Right.
It is still a bag of holding. It just doesn't have an opening anymore.
So Splug can carry 720. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just did the math myself.
Honestly, there wasn't a whole lot in the bag that wasn't like residuum and jars.
Not super heavy stuff.
Right.
Why do we have so many jars in here?
Because of fucking Bodhi, that's why.
Splug just pulling out jar after jar. What the fuck?
Don't worry about it, Slug. Need it.
Don't you worry about how Daddy mixes money.
We canning vegetables or what?
Oh, that is funny.
Three, 2, 1.
Do we have time for a long rest within the hut?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ezekiel and Nyx are in there currently. Anyone else? Okay.
I'll join you in a sec.
Yeah. Cool.
Long rest for me is a lot shorter than you guys.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've been reading the rules on push, drag, and lift 5e.
They all go under the same rule. If you just say he can only carry by the thing, then he only carries by it.
Well, it goes off of carrying capacity, actually. So his push, drag, and lift is twice his carrying capacity. So
Just gonna let him have it.
I'm gonna say
That's 6 times his strength score.
I'm gonna say with
It'd be
this
1440.
take into account because I didn't know it was based off of carrying capacity. I thought it was his own multiple. I'm gonna say that his carrying capacity will be reduced. It'll be double his strength, so that'd be 20, 32. Yeah, thank you. Bad at math. And then push, drag, and lift will be normal based off of that result. So 32 times 15 is a number.
480.
So he can push, drag, or lift.
960.
Yeah, about a ton. That sounds about right.
Half
Honestly,
a ton.
yeah. Well, is a ton 1,000 or 2,000?
2.
Okay, that's me being dumb at math again. But yeah, he definitely, the way I picture him is he's a lifter for sure. And
We never gave a weight to an empty jar.
I would say 10 of them would probably weigh about a pound.
Okay.
Maybe
So
maybe actually 5 of them about a pound.
2.8. Okay, so
Does that sound right for like a ball,
Probably.
a ball jar? Like
yeah, sure.
they're
Yeah.
they're a little smaller than ball jars. Like
Well, they only hold an ounce each,
5
right?
per pound, I think. It's
oh yeah, that 5 a pound.
5 a pound.
I forgot they only carried a fluid ounce.
Approximately. They might carry more, but typically the things I put in them are an ounce each.
Yeah,
Big loads.
yeah.
You better believe it. I'm carrying 5.6 pounds a jar.
The sound.
Yeah, we're gonna be filling some stealth checks. We got all these jars in bed.
Who needs still?
I did also put into
Just clicking our asses through the forest.
I did put into effect.
Uh-huh.
Splug does have a stat card. He has 10 hit points. So if it does get to combat town, like he is a pretty weak little guy, and his armor class is 13. He's wearing leather armor, but yeah, you can definitely kit him out at your pleasure. Like
You know we don't have any money or we'd spend it all on him.
Just put a pot on his head.
he's got a goblin sword. That's the only weapon he has, and again, it's.
No other creature can lift it.
If we find somebody willing to purchase,
I didn't say a Splug sword. I said a goblin sword.
I know.
But
fuck, it's just made of lead.
honestly, like I don't know why that just summoned into my mind. Has anybody here played Skyward Sword? Oh god, okay.
Oh boy, that got me.
Just stupid heavy.
So yeah, you fight in Skyward Sword. There's this fight where you fight Koloktos, right? And he's like this big, like multi-armed guy with huge scimitars, right? And at one point in the fight, you cut his arms off. His swords drop down. You can pick up the swords, which are like 4 times as big as Link, and then use them to slash through the armor chest plate to get to like the weak spot.
Oh, they did that in Wind Waker too.
Yeah, they do it a lot.
You can take the enemy weapons. Yeah.
Big, absolutely obnoxious sized weapon, but it's Splug. Find a giant, kill it, and let him use the sword.
Fucking
I'll
Splug.
allow that.
0.25
I don't see why he wouldn't be able
pounds.
to.
I can carry about another 150 pounds on my person if needed.
Blue goggles were fine. Jar of Ichor I never got a weight on. I'm gonna say it's half a pound, like most of the potions.
And I'll eventually draw this guy, since we're currently just using my generic red cap goblins.
Shovel for
Oh,
5 pounds.
red top goblins. They're not
And
red
2
caps.
jars of Vitae.
Red caps are different.
What were those
And-
gnome things that kicked our ass at one time?
Red calf.
Let's get Splug a pair of those shoes.
Oh, by the way, Chody, warn your wife, because those things are in Baldur's Gate 3, bro. Red caps. And they do
now.
They do exactly that. They just run up and punt.
We've been dealing with a lot of people that do that to us.
Yeah,
About 85 pounds worth of stuff in the bag of holding.
that's not bad at all. You'll be able to fly.
Not
still.
bad. 85, 86. I'm
It's
rounding
a
it
lot
up.
of noisy junk.
Yeah, and Splug,
There's a shovel in there. There's all kinds of shit that I just don't use.
Splug will carry it. Like the bag of holding obviously needs to be kind of kept in a specific way, but with some of the bag of holdings that got disjunctioned or are being kind of like thrown away by Shen, they're still fully functional bags. Like like once they're unmagicked, so you can throw shit in them. They're just no longer.
He's not just cutting them.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. But you can just stitch them shut, and they're no longer magic. They're just bags.
Nah, that just sounds like a ticking time bomb for us.
I mean, I'm not.
Oh, the thread came loose. You dropped all your shit out of the airplane.
Alright, so what we should do for our bag of holding is take one of the extra
My
empty
jars!
jars, turn the bag of holding inside out, and put it in the jar.
I see what you're
That way
saying.
we can keep it in case we need it.
Put the bag of holding that you currently have in a container. The jar probably too big for or too small for it. But I understand what you're saying. Put the bag of holding in a container,
but inside out.
but inside out.
Yeah.
So double security. First off, it's supposed to not be able to be opened.
I've got an extra set of clothes. I'll just sort of roll it all up into that. Tie that shut. I don't have other containers. I have jars and a bedroll and some clothes. I have this old hoodie from the conglomerate.
It's actually fortuitous that we got a Sirix shown nowish, because here in a couple days, or maybe a couple weeks, I just got an email the other day from a person I'm working with. I've been trying to transfer my products from DM's Guild to Roll20 since they allowed for it, and the first one I wanted transferred over as like kind of like a test thing was my magic book with all the spells in it, and it's almost done. So
Right.
everybody's life will be easier. I'm sorry, Joseph. I know you inputted a lot of that shit, and I appreciate it.
Great.
But soon it won't need
A
be a
lot of
problem.
it.
It won't even be a problem. It'll be easy to
It'll
do.
be like it doesn't even matter.
You just drag
I'm
and
like
drop.
every single one of them that was in the book I picked
You
up.
could just
Easy
drag
and peasy.
and you could just drop it. Just drop it.
And why didn't you have jars in the last game? 'Cause I feel like that black hole bomb we made would have been way easier if we just had a fucking jar.
Yeah. Well, now you got nothing
I mean,
but
how would a
jars.
jar have helped?
Because you could have put one inside of the jar and then just thrown the bag to break it.
You could put a portable hole in the bag.
A grenade.
The jar, yeah.
Yeah, it would have made hand grenades out of these things.
Portable hole size is kind of weird because you can roll it up, fold it. If you've ever seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you kind of have an idea of how those work.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. For explaining magic items, particularly.
Or just in general.
Yeah. That also, yes.
Quality cinema.
Yep.
Well,
So I'm going to go back to crying.
we're all
Your,
superstitious.
your long rest will be completed, and Shen will thank you for aiding it, and also will expect one representative of your group to step before the court and explain the situation, so that he is no longer being viewed as a
Thief.
bandit. Yeah.
I'll do it.
Good answer. Take Ether with you. He knows the dangers.
We don't. It's basically gonna just get yada 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 through. I imagine like if we were in a movie.
I was like,
you muted yourself, or you muted partway through that
me?
after you said yada yada.
yeah,
yes.
you, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why, but you clipped out for like 2
Oh.
seconds.
So yeah, yada yada. We'll just yada yada through it. I imagine that if we were gonna do this in a movie,
How do you do it? How do you keep? You did it again.
how do I keep
At the
doing?
exact same time.
You keep saying, imagine that you, and then nothing.
And then yada yada yada. Like, but now I sound fine. And so like,
Right.
imagine it's like a movie, and like in the movie, like it shows
Yep,
you
there it went
walking
again.
away. I'm talking though.
You're fine. You're
He
fine.
did not.
Jody's
He did
fucking-
not.
Jody's making hilarious japes over here.
Chody has negative inspiration
Oh
for your
no!
pranks, sir.
That does sound right.
Every once in a while, we can just give him disadvantage.
Yeah, I can just be like, "Fuck you." But what I was gonna say is, it's kind of like the scene after you're entering into it, and it's just over. Business complete.
Does that mean time for tome exploration?
Well, you can do what you
Right.
like. Yeah.
Do I need to spend any money for repackaging things and getting Splug kitted out, or can we say I got some burlap for like $1?
So what you'll realize is Splug is an expert stacker, so he doesn't.
Of course he is.
He does not need any
Bless
help.
him.
So
I love him.
if you have bags and you're given them by Shen, like he's able to kind of like stack them on his shoulders and move with it.
Cool.
I don't know if anybody here is familiar with Nodwick. Probably another reference nobody gets, but yeah, similar in kind. Splug. It's fine. I'm 1,000 years.
I'm gonna copy paste a list for you to have items and weights. Well, I should carry some of it. I'll doctor this up a little bit. I hope it doesn't come into play anytime immediately. Stuff I'll have Splug carry.
So then, What next?
Home exploration? Question mark.
More crying.
I'm okay with that.
It would have been the
If
early
sh-
session at the
We
court.
can multitask. We can, we can
That's
cry while
good too.
traveling.
The guild will, the guild of folks, they are appreciative of you putting to light, Shen's honesty here. The church representative, less happy about it, and deceit or deception rather is happy, very happy with your efforts, the results, and is glad for
We
it.
weren't able to nab any solid proof, though, were we?
Oh yeah.
I'd have rather had that.
No, yeah, you would have had solid proof. I mean, like your conglomerate representatives. So it's very similar to like sending Jedi to kind of like figure out what's going on kind of situation. Like people trust you because of who you represent. So you're the proof.
Now there's 6 of them. This is getting out of hand.
Yeah, we weren't gonna get away with it. we weren't gonna get out of there without some reference.
They must be dead.
Give us a minute, we will be.
Fun.
Strike us down and we'll become more powerful than you can ever imagine.
The investigation was short.
Okay.
Yeah, I say Tomb. I'm cool with Tomb.
All right.
As long as I can cry on the way there.
Either if you're over your grief to put one foot in front of the other.
While we're going to Doom, out of character, if we get any magic or cursed items, I would like to have them, please. Thanks.
I believe Brent is really sad because he's been paying attention to the Friday game, and apparently they've.
You did mute for a half
Yes,
second.
Oh my
Why?
gosh,
It's
what
very
is
sad
happening?
because.
It's very
I
sad
was
because
And it's
on every
because he's
word.
not cursed.
all of the
'cause he loves cursed
characters
items.
in the Friday game seem to be getting cursed items, and Brent doesn't have any, so he's really
Oh.
jealous.
Oh, put your
Yep.
hand in something stupid.
Yeah.
Been trying.
We'll get there.
It was the reference I made about the Cyric Stone earlier. There was a bleeded one, a red one that was kind of turned like a hue of purple, and it ended up shoved inside of Jonah's hand, like embedded in his wrist, and he could cast all the spells, but he was also geased and had to keep trying to do something, and every day he didn't, he'd just keep dying. Until they performed surgery on him. It was adorable.
Great surgery. It's great surgery.
Tomb, right? Okay,
I think so.
any preparation before you go that way?
We long rested, you already said. I need to adjust for that.
Okay.
I take it we didn't defeat the Bagman in a way that we got experience. That's fine, I just want it confirmed.
That's accurate. Oh, well,
Got it,
Well,
got
no,
it.
sorry,
He'll
that's,
come
that's,
back.
that's inaccurate. You did technically defeat the Bagman.
We did best him in
Well, the Lodestar was his goal, and he did not succeed in it. So yeah, you will get experience for the Bagman's version there.
failure.
Have we been doing? How have we been doing experience? Because I know I do it differently in each one, and I just had a brain fart.
Usually when
long
we
rest?
complete a quest thing, but we're not really in one right now.
Oh, that's fair.
So I'll go ahead and dish that out now. We'll deal with leveling at a later point, though. But the Bagman situation.
Sorry to slow us up even more. We were having some good laughs.
And this, because this experience is special, and I will say that very, very clearly, it is technically going to be granted at full experience for the challenge rating, not doubled, because it's halved, which will equal the doubling. Does that make
We'll
sense?
find him again.
What?
When we're ready. He halved it and then doubled it.
We succeeded, but we didn't kill it, so we're getting half of the experience because it could come back to haunt us. But then
Okay.
the dragon doubles our XP, so we
Which
get
means
the
you
full.
the full.
That is so nice.
Because I knew I was going to say, here's the experience, and then Brent was going to be like,
Fill it.
I got a dragon.
because it's a shit ton. So
sounds
62,000
just like-
divided by 6.
Oh, oh.
10,333.
We level. 10,000. What? 33?
10,333, yep.
Oh gosh.
Okay. I'm going to shift us map-wise. I don't appear to have... That's weird. I had a... Where did that go?
Take your time.
I had a token for the the skyship, right? I put it in the map
Yeah.
before. We've seen it, right?
Yeah.
How far back?
Yes, Andy.
Yes.
You said what?
Yes, and E.
Yes,
Like,
Andy.
yes, and. But it's yes, and.
No. Anyway.
The skyship. I remember us having a token of it at the.
Oh yeah, here we go. I
One
found
place.
it. Okay.
We lost our airplane.
Well, you haven't lost it.
Leave it to us.
It's cool.
We park.
It was Splug that parked it.
We hid it away a bit, right?
We're on the mountain, so I have no idea where I left it.
And this will help put in context the size of this guy we're talking about here. So I'm
I
gonna
left an air tag on it. Sorry. Go ahead.
move us to a different map. It's gonna be pitch black for a second. Just give me a moment here.
I
Sorry.
don't
see
see
anything.
anything.
Yeah. Solid black.
Zach froze. Idiots. I guess for making jokes.
Bodhi. We have to kind of do the map in light situation, but I will be able to augment it so that dynamic lighting is in daylight mode, the initial part. And yeah, I apologize about the jauntiness of the darkness. This is a bit annoying circumstance of old maps. Okay. So, when you arrive, you will see that there are tents and a campsite, but it looks like for the most part the place has been abandoned. There is still a pair of individuals here at the campsite that look like they are still kind of in the process of, archaeology, doing the archaeology. But they mainly kind of remain confined to their tents. They do have fires going, which you are able to see as you approach. And you would note that this is on the lake, so as you're kind of moving towards it, it is kind of in a large mountainous, kind of dune-like structure that looks like it possibly originally kind of moved into the water. But now that you can see it, it looks like the water itself is kind of a latter addition. Looks like there was kind of a walk up to it that you can see submerged in the clear waters as you approach. You're able to kind of make a water landing, kind of pull up to the sandbank, pull up alongside it. You do see that there are two boats present. You do see the two people in the tents who do kind of look out to you but don't exit out of their tents as you move up. The structure itself, what you can see of it, appears to have a number of statues that lead up to it. There are 10 lion-like creatures which have serpent heads kind of along the sides of the pathway up. There are a couple of obelisks which stand about 10 or so feet tall, maybe 15 or so feet tall rather. And then there are statues of humans with bird heads kind of towards the door. The door is wide open. It looks like there was efforts to remove the doors from the frame, and they've been kind of set off to the side. Architecturally, if anyone wants to make a history check, they can to try and determine the nature of the architecture here.
Looks like they use stones.
So, Sanat and Ezekiel mainly just due to idle curiosity during watch, things you've read, things you've picked up along the way. And Sanat more just due to kind of being both.
Being a nerd.
Goddamn, okay.
Yeah, got him.
Being trained in history.
Been holding on to
I
it.
can't,
Proficient in.
I can't wait for Joseph to say Sanat picks up the cursed sword before Ezekiel does later on down the line. And Brent just be like, no! You son of a bitch! But yeah, so you would note that the architecture appears to be very ancient Jernaran, specifically Denisotvan architecture. It's very old. Structures like this are present in the capital, in Old Hystrik. most notably the Miranda of the Mages, and also the obelisk of Triumph, which is not too far from that position. These are kind of like historical things in the old city, the capital city, that are much more ancient than the current structures, things that you would seem as contemporary. And the two people looking at you kind of yell out to you, "Excuse me, can we help you? We're just shutting it down. Are you from... Where are you from?" The other one says, "I think they're bandits. Look at their goblin skyship." It seems to be pulling something out of a backpack.
I'll go. Watch it.
It is your job.
I'm like, we all look at Bodhi.
Party leader, hello.
Do your stupid job.
Zach's like, I have the
It is a stupid job.
I think what's gonna be,
Introduce us.
I think what's gonna be funny is I think I'm gonna play this card when we do the Steve game. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, you're in charge, Zach. Go on for it. You,
Nope. I'll
you
run it out.
motherfucker. You motherfucker. Go ahead.
We are from the conglomerate. My name is Bodhisattva. My companions and I were sent here to investigate the ruins here.
The guild sent you, or you just came along on your own? Did you stop in Panacea at all?
Did we stop where?
Panacea, the name
Panacea.
of the town that we just came from.
Yes, we decided as a favor to the council there that we would investigate this tome and see if there was any value in continuing the excavation.
Oh, are we expected to pass over our notes to you?
Yes, please.
The guy who was
You can hand them to Mr. Sanat, my colleague here.
the guy who was reaching into the bag
One
kind
that
of
can read.
pushes whatever he had in the bag back into the bag. They walk over and kind of look at Sanat. They sit near the fire, and one of them kind of like pulls a stack of parchments off of the box, walks over to you if you don't join them at the fire, and hands them over to you. "How fast does that thing go?" they say, pointing and kind of looking at your skyship.
That's on you. Real fast, I think.
Oh, it goes super fast.
Super fast.
It'd be a lot
Wait,
easier
they
than
also
us.
run in 30 parsecs.
It'd be a lot easier than us rowing back.
That's right. It can make the Kessel run in 30 parsecs,
If
right?
you're willing to give us a ride back after we pull everything down, we'd be really appreciative.
Out of character, would I know if we could accommodate that wait?
I think you could run him back to town and come back.
Oh, okay,
It's
just
about
me.
a-
Yeah, sure,
it's
sure,
about
sure.
an hour jaunt.
Take
Oh, yeah.
somebody else if you don't trust him, but
While they're
they-
discussing that, I just start going through the papers.
Yeah.
They're gonna need their canoes to get back here for work the next day, so you probably just tow them in their boats.
Yeah, well, they're not going to come back this way, so they don't need the canoes. Like,
okay,
Sweet.
free canoes.
I want Resigo to come with me just
Somebody
in
learn how
case.
to make those into a pitch.
just latch those onto the skyship. Slug, hold on to them. He's just underneath holding the fucking boats.
Maybe my new spells can allow me to transmute them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna be a shipwright.
The notes will tell you a bit, but it looks like a lot of it is drawings, crudely done, of sites that you presume are inside. It also is a lot of kind of monotonous, kind of detailed notation as to what was done with what amount of sand inside. And when you step inside or look inside, you can see that there are wheelbarrows that are kind of like filled or like slightly kind of filled with sand. It doesn't look like they're filled to the brim or anything, but it does look like that's what they're being used for. You can see picks kind of in places. It looks like the sand in question is heavily packed, so it's not quite sandstone, but it's definitely harder than just loose sand. So it looks like the efforts were, from what you can tell in the notes and what you can see before your own eyes, were after they opened the door to basically pull the sand out and deposit it into the waters. And that's what they've been doing. And it looks like they've carved a path for themselves. Looks like a lot of efforts were kind of put on the far backside. And as you kind of look to it, you can see that they're just peeking out of the sands, kind of placed there before you, is a massive statue of a jackal-headed creature that does not have Jernaran kind of connotations. This definitely is something that's a bit more Ikashadi in its origins. It very much looks like one of the ancient rulers of Ikashad, the mage-like rulers, and they would wear
Ancient
masks.
Kittleborn.
They would wear masks that would depict them as being jackals, and it is true. And in your history roll was good enough that you would know that the Kennelborn were actually the original Kennelborn. Were created by magic, like a magic disjunction to create dog people. But the reason why these people were seen as noble and were kind of not treated as servants to people who were creating them is because of the Ikashadi's reverence for dog-like creatures.
Okay, so if we get in trouble, Ezekiel's in charge.
Um,
Any ghosts or ghouls?
Sanat, you're kind of looking at it, and Ezekiel, you're kind of there, so I'll just give you a roll on it too, just because, you know, your lineage. I mean, it might have been talked about by, it might have been passed down from father to son or mother to son. Go ahead and make religion checks, the two of you. You can make it untrained. It's absolutely fine. It just goes pairs with the knowledge. So, yeah.
We just keep getting the same scores.
We have the same brain.
I do love that. That is really good. So what you would note is that the creature that you're looking at, you don't know the name that's associated with this individual, but you would know based on the items that it appears to have about it. It is very much what is known as a judiciary. An individual who basically enacts laws of the divine on mortal beings based on the kind of whip, flail, and the crook that the creature is carrying, or the statue is carrying. And yeah, it's somewhere around 40 feet tall. You would see that there is a ladder. Looks like they were kind of working. It's, settled down at this point. It doesn't look like it fell or anything. It just looks like it was kind of placed down. You'd see that there's, depictions of something on the ground, but it hasn't been fully uncovered. That'd be here. And then you would see that there does appear to be a doorway that looks like it has a lot of marks around it, as if they were trying to kind of clear the stone or kind of find some means of egress, or some door handle, and no such thing has been found as yet. On the door, there is a facade of a bird-like face, and then drawn into the stone structure beneath
Fucking
it
birds.
is a body of a human, like attached to the gold bird face.
I know this is probably, like, not necessarily need to know, but out of character, have we seen any other Kittleborns in any of these areas yet?
Have you seen any Kettleborns in this area? Yeah, well, there would have been some in Panacea. None of them have been named NPCs, but there are definitely a couple.
Okay.
Penford's filled with them.
Just litters of them.
Yeah, just litters of them. Fucking guy. You would know there are a couple noble families of Kennelborn kind of in the Ulamar barony, but it's currently under siege by the Denisovans. It has been for a decade. Yeah, you would know that Kennelborn aren't uncommon, especially in Jernaris. But yeah, there are definitely some in Panacea.
Was either the excavation team by Kittleborn?
No, so the people that were in the excavation team, 2 Jernarans.
I have a very dumb idea. Ezekiel's going to put his hand on the eagle head.
Okay.
If he can reach it.
Yeah, it's about, eye level. When you kind of place your hand on it, nothing changes. There's nothing like weird or anything. But I'd like for you to make a perception check.
All right. 20.
There's definitely a strange scent about the gold of this statue. It doesn't smell like just jeweler's gold. It doesn't smell like normal. There's like a certain sweetness to it that almost hints at the fact that this isn't just an object. It's like it's a thing. It's like it's not just a thing. It feels like it's something more than that.
Okay, I'm gonna explain that to Sanat since he's the nerd of the group.
In layman's terms, it smells like people.
Okay, gotcha. Can I try to like push on it and see if it does anything?
No, doesn't do anything, but yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid, sturdy door. When you cast Detect Magic, that glows. You do a quick glance around. The statue, the big one, glows. The ladder glows, strangely. And that's about it from your current vantage.
Okay. Would I know, like you said, like, so with the gold or whatever, would me being proficient with like jeweler stuff have like any effect on like understanding whatever's going on with the gold, or is that only for like gems and stuff?
So you
Because I can understand like magical properties, I guess, of other things. So I don't know.
you definitely get a vibe that there is the door itself and the face are not separate; they are one. There's definitely some means of activation that you're not aware of at current. Um, but yeah, it feels like almost as if the door itself is more than just a door. It's like it's a sentient door. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Lick it.
It tastes like
Are we
door.
gonna talk to it?
Ask before you lick it.
Fair enough. Who should do the
Oh
talking?
hell, I'm sorry. I was adding all my cool new cantrips. Where is everybody?
Yeah, and if you're kind of passing by stuff, you would note that the ladder is strange. Like, it definitely looks like it's a bit different than a regular ladder, in that it looks like there are places on the bottom and the top where there's like a button.
Oh, so it like extends.
Go ladder.
You can press the ladder buttons if you want. It's up to you. If you
Oh,
want.
I
Press the
do.
button. I'll press the button.
So the second you press the button, nothing happens unless you were holding the ladder. If you picked up the ladder and then pressed the button, what you'd realize is the ladder is no longer movable.
Oh,
It's an
That's
immovable
fancy.
ladder.
Does it get
fancy.
longer? Is there a button to extend it?
No. It's
Nope, it
always,
just-
Ah, man, I wanted to put Bodhi on one end and just
it,
send
is,
him.
it is always that long. But if you press
That's pretty funny.
one of the buttons, it will go from its temporally locked state to its or spatially locked state to its non-spatially locked state.
So it's just a bunch of immovable rods stuck
No,
together.
no. It is a single ladder.
Immovable ladder.
That is an immovable rod.
Can I do like some sort of check to try to understand the magic for the stuff going on, or?
Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
While he's doing that, Ezekiel say "Open Sesame" in front of the door.
It doesn't do anything. What you're realizing is that there's definitely some activation to this. This appears to be some form of construct. So something needs to be said, or something needs to be done for this to do anything.
Would the stuff on the door be considered like a language, or?
It is not. So it's basically just a depiction of what appears to be a guy, right? And kind of just pretty stereotypical, like, old Jernaran garb, which is kind of robish and, like, eccentric, kind of over-the-top looking. And then where a head would be on the carving of the guy on the door, instead there is a gold extending out of the door bird face. But as you see it in Detect Magic Sight, the mask and the door glow as one. And to Ezekiel, the mask smells like people. So
Okay.
his Kennelborn scent is basically picking up on the.
I guess I'm just gonna speak to the door. I don't know. Like, will it react? I don't know.
Talking to the door doesn't seem to do anything, as you and Ezekiel both try and kind of say catchphrases that you feel might work.
What kind of people does it smell like?
So it just smells like people. It doesn't smell like any people he's familiar with.
What's the language they speak here?
Great question. So Jernaran is spoken by the Panaceans, but Ikashati is their ruse.
And we don't
think we would have
know
picked up any Ikashati in our times fighting nightmares.
No. The Bagman did not speak.
Ikashat Clay, I think, was the furthest we got.
I think that was the bit, yeah.
Yeah.
We got.
Is that
we just
Andy?
got
Can you
fun of
speak all
making fun
languages
of
or
the
no?
name of the peoples. We didn't really get into their culture. Their culture.
We got a little culture.
Does Nick speak all the languages he's heard?
Does Nick? No, he can speak so that he's intelligible to any creature. That's different than speaking.
Well,
I think it's
Try,
different than
try
speaking a
telling that
language,
door
right?
to open if it's intelligible.
You can try that
Okay.
if you like.
Yeah.
or at least ask it to open. Don't tell it.
Please, good
We
sir.
don't want to piss it off.
Would you mind opening?
So click the ability for me. I think I know how it's wording, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work. I just want to make sure.
Oh, really? That would be the most amazing thing ever.
I was like,
Start
this is a
talking
language
bird
that
at
we don't
it.
know.
It's creature.
Yeah, so it magically understands you is the key. Okay, so what you would have replied to you from it is,
What?
and again, you can't understand it, is a bunch of gibberish that is of a language you're not familiar with, but you've heard it before. Denisotvan is the language that's being iterated.
So could I just
Those are the bad
phonetically
guys.
write it down?
What
I cast detect language so I can understand it.
comprehend language? That's fine. If you're
Comprehend
casting,
language.
you're casting it as an action, or are you going to ritual cast it,
Or I'm gonna what?
or do you want
We
to?
can we can talk it through. He's saying do it for make it take 10 minutes, but not cast a spell slot.
Yeah.
No, do it now so you
Yeah,
you
I'll
can
do
use
the-
it
I'll
on the
use
what
the
it's
spell slot. I
immediately
don't mind.
spoken.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
So basically, what it relates to you, and in the comprehend languages, you're getting the gist of it as you're kind of casting it mid through. Is basically it is asking you to knock to enter, and when it says knock in this Denisotvan tone,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't seem to be saying it as an action to be taken. It seems to be saying it as a spell to be cast.
Ah, that's great. So you know what to do.
Well, I don't know that spell.
I had a feeling nobody would. This is hilarious.
Goodness
We're
gracious.
the worst party ever.
I wouldn't trust that spell.
Uh-uh.
You wouldn't trust that spell?
After what happened to us?
Do it
So-
while,
After what
I
happened
mean,
to Port
here-
Shoney?
do it while
Here's
you're
the
flying.
thing. Here's the thing. We could take a long rest here, a level, and Sanat, can you learn that spell?
Andy, can you learn that spell?
I could actually. I think I might be able to take that spell. I get
It
to.
is such a good spell.
Yeah.
I get to learn 2 spells. Those are not the ones I was from any class, but
Says the guy that spilled his pockets.
I was thinking
That has
whatever.
nothing to do with the spell. That's
I
just
believe
me and my
Sanat was
luck.
probably keying towards higher level shit.
So was I, but that's okay.
Hold on. So knock, I think, is a bard spell, right?
Is it?
Yeah, bard, sorcerer, wizard. You can take it as your regular bard spell. You don't have to take it as your lore spell.
Fine. So can we say without actually going through the process of leveling up, that's one of the spells I take?
Well, we could go ahead and do the process of you leveling up real quick if you want to take a long rest, because there is shit that might happen during the night.
Okay.
Did we send those guys home?
So they are going to be gathering their shit and cleaning out, and if they've made it very clear to you, if you wish to use their camp, they'll leave it. They don't have to tear it down. That saves them the trouble. And then basically they'll let the guild know that the conglomerate agents they sent forward were the ones that took the gear.
How long have they been out here?
These two say they've been here since the excavation started, which is 1.5 years ago.
They've not left the site.
They have left for like vacations, but they have pretty much been here every day, with again small exceptions, for 1.5 years.
It's fine. But what is the normal overnight scenario?
Cold as hell. There have been a couple of instances where they have had to very quickly close off the tomb due to sandstorms. And the sandstorms typically blow in from above down onto the water. So it's not coming in from like the lake, it's coming down from the dune. which
Can
has,
you hear the sandstorm coming?
yeah, I believe
Do 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 do.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I was about to do it, but yeah. Anyway, the point is,
And it just loses it. It just
you'll
goes
know
nuts after that.
you'll know it's coming is the point. And then there have been a couple of instances where they have had issue with shadow cats, but not commonly. And you would know that shadow cats is kind of a Jernaran term for displacer beasts.
We dealt with those back on the prairie.
Yeah, they do.
Good.
And we ran from a bunch of them.
We did run away.
Well, there are a number of creatures, which basically they'll say a name, but out of character you would know is kind of like a. It's not quite a zebra, but it's not a gazelle either. It's kind of like in between, and then the shadow cats hunt them at the water.
We're doing rolls for HP, right?
Uh-huh.
Since we're gonna level.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab my
I
dice.
can't level up, sad.
5 is good, and
So are we gonna fly them back, take the long rest in town, or do you guys want to long
I was like,
rest
well,
here
it is.
after taking
We
them?
do have someone here that's able to cast the tiny hut spell, right? Isn't that what you did earlier?
Yep,
Yeah.
I can do it.
We would be fine in the storm with that. But
Hand of Displacer Beast, last time I checked, can't cast Dispel Magic, so.
Okay.
what'd you say?
Okay.
So Liamin's tiny hut, most people get the false impression that it's impervious. I can just dispel it. So I've done that to groups before. I was just making sure, a joke about that, because I know I've done it to this group, that Displacer Beast, so far as we know, can't cast Dispel Magic. Who needs dice rolled?
Oh, I might.
not me.
I'm thinking you're taking that one?
Yeah, it looks pretty
we're
good.
gonna roll.
Pretty decent.
Did I see my roll?
3
I
on a
didn't see
d6
roll.
isn't bad. You want to stick with it, or you want to...
I'll stick with it.
Okay. 4 on a
Um,
d8 is not that bad at all either.
It's the exact same as 3 on 6.
Can you? I'm gonna roll the dice. Can you roll for me?
If I roll for you, then that means you do not get the 4. You get what I get you.
I realize that.
Okay. I rolled a 6.
Bingo.
And is that everybody?
Cody?
Bodie, you rolling?
I already did. I got a 5.
Oh, I
5?
see that up there. Okay. Yeah, you got it before the hut.
2,000 more points before I level.
And then I think Ezekiel's also behind a bit too.
Yeah, I got 6,000 more for our level.
Gotcha. My bad.
Because I keep murdering him.
Actually, I think I only died once, and that was voluntary. No, twice. Once
You
was
died at least
murder,
twice.
once was voluntary.
I know one of them was pretty big XP.
Yeah. The one that I died voluntarily, I regretted not getting that curse sword beforehand.
Don't worry. There's going to be a really nice curse sword for you in here.
Oh, what
good.
meta magic do I want?
Maybe. We'll see.
Speaking of meta magic, I just learned how to
I
navigate
can
the
just get a
desert.
curse sword that gives me like awesome abilities, but
You
I have to
literally
like
tip your
die.
toe in the
I'm
sand.
gonna
You're like,
punch.
I figured it out, guys.
I get it. I get it now.
Your
It's like
eyes just turned white.
It's like a mountain, but all over the place. It's like-
You see him like pick up some sand and like give it a little lick. Like, yep,
Mountains all
Infinite tiny
deconstructed.
exactly what I
mountains.
thought it would be.
I got this. Hilarious. So yeah, go ahead and quick level. Those of you who are not leveling, if there's any questions about the space that you currently have available to you, and like the interior, absolutely more than welcome to ask any questions. You have the immovable ladder, and you can take that however you'd like. It is a total of 15 feet long and a little less than 5 feet wide. So if you are wanting to move it into the dungeon, you will basically be setting up a person and a person with a space in between, and those two will have to move as a unit, kind of connected.
I'll just carry it from the middle, Three Stooges style.
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
whacking people in the head.
I'll hit the button every
Hit,
few minutes.
click.
See, we'll be running
I'll just
away.
walk away from it.
Just leave it. It must have flew at you on its own, I guess.
Wait, where'd it go?
Be running away. Somebody clicks it, and the whole group like falls backwards because they can't move past it.
But Uther, it's monkey bars wherever we want.
Or you're running through a hallway with it, then you turn when you get into an opening, back up and hit the buttons with the frame of the door, and they all run into the ladder.
Yeah.
Holy
Close
crap!
behind them all.
This leveling
Except
is
for
like
Nyx.
killing my
And Bodhi.
connection because it's loading every single spell that I could choose from.
Craziness.
Every single spell.
Yeah, mine's doing that too.
It's like, oh my god.
It's a lot of fun.
It decapitates Bodhi and his head just pops back on because he's
Well,
ooze.
this. I thought I
Slither over it.
Do I still have like crazy stuff set up for this game? Like,
Your connection is interrupted. Whoa.
yeah, I took all the weird stuff off here. I think.
What's that one spell I like?
I don't know.
Aganarzar's Scorcher?
Yeah, I'm gonna skip the spell selection portion for now, because I still have to add all my transmutation stuff.
Yep.
And apply changes.
Let's go. Okay, knock. Knock?
Knock.
Do I still get to choose additional spells besides those magical secret spells? I think I do.
You're still a bard. Yeah.
Still a bard.
So
Okay,
for bard, and you are what level now?
I'm level 10. I was thinking about taking counterspell.
So bard at 10th level, you have a new cantrip, and you have
I do.
2 new bard spells.
Okay.
But at
What were
10th
they?
level, you do not gain. Oh, you do gain magical secrets. Magical secrets is. Let me double check here.
Gosh, page is unresponsive.
Choose 2
Sheesh.
spells from any class, including this one. A spell you choose
I
must be of a
know.
level. Those chosen spells.
Roll 20 is getting more and more
This is-
unwieldy.
This is important.
This
The
is
chosen
fucked.
spells count as bard spells for you and are included in the number of spells known. So, the truth of the matter is, based on that, I think you, with magical secrets, you are. Let me check that wording there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you're basically locking in the 2 spells you gain for this level as being spells from other classes.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah,
that
it looks.
is weirdly worded. Next
It
level,
is
you'll gain
weirdly
another
worded.
spell slot or spell that you know.
Mhm.
That will be a bard only spell, and then the next time you get a magical secrets feature would be at 14th. Both of the spells that you get at that turn, you get are any that you want. You'll see on their bard chart, it'll go from like 11th 15, 12th 15, 13th 16, and then 14th jumps up to 18. So basically, normal bard progression is limited, but magical secrets create like a bump at the level you
So
gain.
I'm confused though, because I'm looking at the difference between 9th and 10th. I see I gain one more cantrip,
Yeah, I said that,
but in
yeah.
terms of the number of spells, I only gain one more
Right.
spell
And-
slot.
Well, spell slots, don't worry about those. Spells known is
Oh,
what
so
we're
number,
looking
so
at.
they get. Oh, okay,
Spells
got
known
it.
is 14. So
Okay.
that jump is due to magical secrets. It's you gain 2 spells from any class you want, and they're treated as bard spells.
Mm-hmm.
So a part of that too, though, is whenever you gain a level where you gain another spell, you can retrain a spell. So if you want to take a 2nd level spell that you already have, erase it, and put knock in, you can do that once per leveling as well.
Oh,
So it's in addition to
sweet.
magical secrets.
okay, I might do that. It just takes a really. Call me a rugged wolf. I don't even know what that is. What the fudge is that?
What?
It's in the same list of. It's. Oh gosh.
I have it too. It's a 5-mile radius. If a Roggenwolf happens to be around, you
It's a
can
level 2
summon
spell.
it.
What's that from?
I have no
I don't know.
idea.
It shows up really weird. It's got a big red border on it.
No. You guys should be seeing those spells. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
But you should.
Aganazar,
We're
Scorcher.
seeing all of them.
all the weird spells. Maybe that's what's like causing it to slog down.
Your
so
wide
much.
roll 20's broken.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why I keep freezing, John.
Yeah,
Hold
man.
on.
Damn
I'm pretty-
Roggenwolves.
I'm pretty sure it's the maps, unless the maps are looking for all them rocket wolves.
I don't even know what a fucking.
Searching out
Rocket
5-mile
wolf.
radius. Goddamn.
Okay,
Of course, it's gonna break my shit.
let's look together. Acquisitions Incorporated, Journeys to the Radiant Citadel, Keys from the Golden Vault. That one's not supposed to.
I have
be.
2 Maximilian's Earthen Grasps.
Yeah, one's
That'll
from,
happen.
One's from Essentials, one's from the other one. Yeah, that's,
There's like 3 shape waters.
they do a lot of reprints. That's fine, but it looks like I did have a couple of third-party stuff that was being added in here.
Okay,
I'm erasing it. Hold on. And nope. And
I was thinking about taking.
If you
Do I
hit-
have to?
if you hit refresh, it hopefully will get rid of a lot of that.
Oh
shit.
gosh, I don't want to. I don't want to do that because it took so long to,
Ooh,
to
I'm gonna do
load.
it.
figure this out real quick.
Not frozen yet. Map is loading. I'll be damned. It's working.
What do you
Leveling
think
up
of...
has just unlocked the funniest joke ever in game for me. Because now,
We
as a
got-
bonus action, I can turn myself and any equipment I am carrying invisible. So there's going to be an invisible ladder just floating somewhere
Holy shit.
for you all to knock your heads on.
Oh, I love it.
This is great.
Since we are inside, though, mainly, I'm gonna
So now
shift.
you have to keep that ladder.
I'm gonna shift dynamic lighting back to not daylight mode. So I believe at this point it will be a bit darker for some of you. And I just want to make sure everyone's sights are correct. So Silas, you no longer have dark vision, so I'm going to remove it from you. Save. Which means it's probably pitch black in there now. Bodhi, do you want to carry a torch?
Yeah, I got that thing. I keep that thing on me.
Yep.
Let me go get it. I'm gonna cast the, what's it, the light cantrip?
Yeah, so
Onto
double it.
So it's super bright for, my friend Silas's eyes.
Flashbang!
Well, you lost your special goggles.
Yeah, I'm really sad about that one.
So you'll
I'm
have-
okay with the ring, but those ones sucked.
You'll have to stay close to the Bodhi. And then everybody
Can't fly
else,
on my ladder.
vision doing okay?
Still doing the thing.
Gotcha.
It's a 15-foot torch walking around.
Okay, so
And it's invisible.
I can get rid of any leveled spell and then pick up.
Yeah, any spell
knock?
you know, you can retrain it. So you can retrain like a second level spell, or you can retrain
Okay.
like a third level spell, or whatever spell
Unclick
you
one
want.
and choose another.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. That's what I'll do.
My dark vision's only 60 feet. It should be 120. I don't know if that's.
Oh, is it
My math's
120?
not right.
Are we doing that
Yeah, it's
again? Is
120.
that happening again now? Jesus fuck. Seems like every time. It's okay. Same thing happens to Tom in the Friday game. His character is supposed to have 300-foot dark vision because she's a Twilight cleric, and it just keeps resetting it down to 60. I'm like, no.
The game's like, no, stop.
She,
I can see forever.
she doesn't even
Legend
have dark
lore?
vision.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Legend lore or synaptic static players? What do you think?
That second one.
Synaptic static?
Yeah, I don't know what they
That's
do.
that's
That sounds
damage.
like it'll
That's
kick on
damage.
it.
Let's go do some tomb raiding.
Legend
It's an
lore lets
in-save.
you identify items that can't be identified by the spell identify.
All right, well, that's pretty good. John went all quiet again.
And then synoptic static
So the good thing about it, it's an in save,
Yep.
and it does 8d6 psychic and half on a
It-
successful
Are you
one.
trying to kill the party?
It is a big you could murder the party with that. Like except
really?
except for Joseph's character, yeah. Everybody here's stupid. Except for Sanat.
I've been leading the pack with a 12.
Sanat
Yeah.
came in and like I could take
He was in the AP courses.
I could
All right,
take
I'll
two
take-
of you with my brains.
I'll keep legend lore then. Make us have more utility.
Like I
based.
said, we're unique
Up
figures.
to 20 intellect now, so.
Yeah.
Earth. That's a lot of cantrips. Ooh, message. That's a fun one.
Message is fun.
Did you see our notes, John?
No.
We're going to use thaumaturgy, gust, and what's the other one? Prestidigitation. We're going to turn Bodhi into a leaf blower so we can clean this place out.
Well, I will say there are, and honestly, funny you say that, but we'll get to it later. There are a lot of transmutation cantrips in my books as well. I don't know if you've got them or not, but when they get
no.
into Roll20, they'll just automatically be in there because you're sharing
Okay.
a compendium here with me.
Buy
So-
my books, listen to tapes.
Well, I don't know how to search
Buy
the
my
compendium for just. I don't know how to search the compendium for just cantrips under transmutation.
So if you click on the spells up at the top right near the search bar, you'll see filter results. And then if you look at the filter options, there's one that says school.
Oh, it's halfway under the search bar for me.
Yeah,
The
it's
filter
weird.
spells button.
If you click that
Okay.
transmutation, it might give you a bunch of different options for transmutation. Just look for the one that's just transmutation. And then you can also sort it by cantrip as well, which will be level cantrip. apply filters. And non my book stuff, you have control flames, druid craft, gust, magic stone, mending, message, mold earth, prestidigitation, primal savagery,
Hang on. I'm gonna have a fit here. Too much information coming at me.
shape water, shillelagh,
Reading, you're not stopping.
thaumaturgy, and thornwhip.
Apply filters. Gust.
I'm all set.
Cool. All right, so
I'm ready. Whatever. I'll catch up.
we cracking this bad boy.
I'm still standing next to
Yeah,
a
cracking
ladder.
open
as
a
far
cold
as I
one
know.
with the boys.
All right, bear with me here for 1
Earth?
second.
Mending. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was like, when you were talking about those bags and being stitched up, I was like, mending would come in very handy.
I was thinking mending way earlier when the guy was first tearing bags. I don't know that it would work on a magic bag, but it's something.
I mean, it wouldn't be magic
work on
if
the bag.
if the magic broke, but it would. You could fix the bag.
Recycle, reduce, reuse, recycle.
You do like containers.
I do. It's a lot of fun. If we find any jars of, humors in this tube, I'm gonna take them.
Humors. All the humors.
When you cast the spell knock, you will watch as the bird head dips down almost like a bow, the gold kind of moving in a malleable way to allow for the head to dip and bow. And once that happens, the door itself seems to become transparent, but still visually there, allowing you to kind of move through it and see through it, but it still has a kind of semi-present nature to it. And Nyx, upon casting knock, you would know that in doing so, the sound of the knock does emanate not just back the way you came from, but also inside of the structure as well. Additionally, you would know that to close this magic door, all you would have to do is cast the spell knock again.
Okay.
On the immediate
So everyone else would hear the noise as well. So
Yeah.
I would have to say, yeah, that's a problem.
No, it's very loud. If you click the spell knock, you would note that it
Yeah.
has a very audible kind
Okay.
of sound to it. But you would see that in this space in front of you, it looks like there is a decent amount of sand kind of spattered throughout the ground, but it doesn't look like it's got the same kind of buildup as everywhere else. But as you kind of come around the corner here, you will see that there does look like there has been kind of a large amount of it that has seeped in from stones kind of crumbling in. You'd also see in this space that there are a total of 3 urns. One of them looks like it is a water jar, similar in kind to the ones that are carried by the folks in Panacea. The other 2 jars are not like those water jugs. Instead, they look like they are containers for like food or something. They
Okay.
are all sealed the same way, all 3 of them. They are sealed with red wax that has been coated over the tops and kind of melted. Very similar to like I can't think of the name of the liquor.
Maker's Mark.
Very Maker's Marky, yeah. Glad we have plenty of alcoholics in here.
I'm gonna
I
nab
should have known
those
it.
and give Silas a wing. If you want to crack open one of these and have a taste, I'm just in it for
Go
the
for it.
jars. You lick the bowl.
Do you like a dog snake tongue?
So,
Lapping it up.
Ezekiel, as you approach the door, you would see that on the ground there's kind of writing that appears to be kind of covered with dirt, but it looks like it was written in like tar on the ground. The writing is not something that you know. It is definitely outside of your knowledge base. But in looking at it, it definitely looks like it was placed here with purpose. And as you kind of approach the door and step over it to do so, everyone else will watch as the tar seems to kind of glow a light orange, almost as if it were kind of kindling with fire. The door is just a massive stone slab. It is locked.
I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Ezekiel. Ezekiel, it is now a D10.
Okay.
Awesome.
Ezekiel, you'd also note that the door, it's just a big stone slab, but it looks like there are handholds towards the bottom, enough that maybe 3 people side by side could get in and grab a hold of it and lift.
All right. Look for Silas to come help me open this
I'll
door.
come help.
I'll help too.
I'll
Heck yeah.
hold the light.
Heck yeah.
Hold it still.
Who needs warnings?
Uh-oh. I keep putting it behind me to cast everything in a big glow.
His big gauntlets of ogre power sticking out over his thin bug arms.
I'm
Athletics check.
Even who?
No athletics check is required. If the 2 of you are working with, well, Nyx isn't going to be able to do much.
What? I have a 19 strength. I have gauntlets of ogre
It's not
power.
about that. It's about height. So
never
very,
mind
very,
that.
very, very quickly, they're going to get to a point where you physically cannot help.
I could slip under it though.
You could,
Just hang from it.
but that would mean that you would need to switch your position onto that side and hold up, or they would just be dropping theirs because it's going to take all 3 of you to lift.
Okay.
No, it isn't. Because when they lift it up, I'm going to push a ladder through it and push the button.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
And
damn!
then
Look at that ladder's
once-
paying off.
Once that you put the ladder underneath, and once that's done, do you guys let it go?
I slide through it anyway
Okay.
before it's
That boy's
down,
got it.
and I
Let it
try
go.
to hold and I'm holding the ladder. I mean, I'm holding it on my side.
Yeah, but you guys let it go, right?
How would it feel to me? Does it feel like the weight?
It
has
feels
gone
like the
off
weight's
it?
kind of off of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Then yeah, slide under it. And
Okay,
go
sure.
through.
The ladder holds it
Yeah.
up. The ladder can hold up to 8,000 pounds, and you
Heck
3
yeah.
could not lift 8,000 pounds on your best day.
They're pretty muscular fellas.
You guys
No.
look
And
at
that guy's an
this.
ant.
Dude, Splug is stronger than all of them when it comes to
That's
lifting.
that's the
removes
biggest
one
ant
hand.
I've ever seen.
He removes one hand from it and goes, look, one hand.
So we're playing with this door stuff here.
I can carry 10 times their
Do you
body
guys
weight.
see a door marker on the
Yep.
thing? You clicked open, did you not?
Yeah,
so
if
now you
come
see
to
that
the
it's
open
open,
closes.
and you can shut it at your pleasure too, and it will shut it and block view. So this is a new mechanic that Roll20 has presented to us. I can make them secret doors. I can make them locked doors. It's a lot of fun. Makes it a little bit more interactive for you guys on your
Real
side.
quick before, because this is important.
I
Are
also
there
have
any
a
secret
question
doors within
after.
30 feet of me?
Secret doors. You're using a detect charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a secret door within 30 feet. Does it show where it's located, or it just tells you that it's there?
I believe it does tell me where it is.
Okay.
Hold on.
It points towards it, I think.
Yeah, I think it is kind of.
I think it like spins in your hand like
yeah,
a compass.
It's like a. Oh
The
God.
Johnny Depp Pirates of the
Points at the one nearest to.
compass.
Yep.
Pulses and points to
Yep.
the one nearest.
This sarcophagus, underneath it, kind of pointing to the ground of that sarcophagus. Now, when you enter into the space, what you'll realize is
Did
this...
you ping something?
Oh, did I not? I was in GM
Left,
mode.
right, or middle?
So sorry, middle.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you look at this space, what you'll realize is this is an honorific burial tomb, and it appears to be an old Ikashadi styling. But a lot of the markings that are present here seem to have Jernaran kind of touches and flares to them, and also older kind of motifs that you aren't familiar with, that are strangely familiar from what you've seen of Denisotvan, kind of technology, ships, and the like. But once you step into this space and the door's been lifted to kind of halfway height and kind of placed onto the ladder, you folks want to explore around. I will say that another thing too, and I mentioned it with just Nyx, but I want to make sure I mention it with everybody. Each person that steps over the tar writing, the hieroglyphs on the ground that are kind of written in tar, it seems to kind of burn slightly hotter with each person that passes over it.
So now
Okay.
that's your
Can I ask a
field.
couple questions?
Yeah,
Would I be able to
absolutely.
know what that is?
So, looking at the grate by the
Oh, that's
sarcophagus that was pinged for the secret door,
That's not a grate.
what is that?
It is a chest, and it
It
has
is a chest.
cartouche markings on it. So they would basically be hieroglyphics settled inside of kind of like carved out space. Yeah.
And then, second, looking around the room, I see like images of cats and spiders. It looks like
You betcha.
I was I wonder if anybody who has knowledge of history of this culture might know anything about that.
No, but I could bullshit tell them. I also
Not knows.
have a question.
Okay.
The Arcana was for the tar, whatever, and then history for whatever it was. We were looking at the cats and stuff.
And the spiders, yeah.
Okay. What was the history check? We got a 23? Okay, cool. So, these are very common motifs in Ikashadi kind of culture. These are the ones that stood out to you as mainly Ikashadi. But what you're seeing, too, is the things that are kind of displaced from this are some of the markings on the sarcophagi, and these kind of strange-looking pieces of artifacts. You saw one outside. It's almost like a grouping of feathers or like a clamshell that's kind of like settled up above person height. It kind of descends down a little bit, creating a small little like a little. No, my brain's not working. I don't even remember words. A thing that covers your head.
Umbrella
Headdress?
hat.
Hat.
No, not that you would wear. Like a thing
A head.
like outside that come off the sides of buildings.
An awning.
That's the word I wanted. That
Pagoda.
is exactly the word I wanted. Not pagoda. That wasn't it.
Pergola.
Awning was.
Pergola.
Yeah. And you'd also note that it looks like all of these jars seem to be Coptic. So for the history check, what that means is they are filled with the material that was excised from the bodies when they were ceremonially put into their sarcophagus.
Bodhi, do not take these jars.
Take these jars, Bodhi.
With that
All
history,
gonna-
50.
with that history and Arcana combo, you would know that Ikashadi and other cultures that did this, these Coptic jars actually function as very potent potions, if imbibed.
Oh, we drinking all these.
And
Before we go any further, I had a question, and I'm sorry, Jeremy.
the Arcana regarding the flame tar, it seems to be a very ancient version of the spell Alarm, but that's not keyed in the same way. So you would know Denisofin magic doesn't play by the same rules as the magic of D&D. It has similar effects or functions in ways, but basically in stepping over it, you've alerted something to the fact that you and others have entered into the space.
So, how far? We met the excavationists outside. How far did they actually make it? Did they not make it past the knock spell?
They did not make it past the knock spell.
What have they been doing for the past year?
Digging sand out.
Okay.
That has not been an easy process. I mentioned the
No,
ceilings.
no, I understand.
The ceilings are like 60
Sandstone?
feet high. 60 feet high, and they've cleared out the entire front space to
Okay.
allow you to pass through. So, yeah, it's been a lot of sand digging, and also
It's just
rotating.
a convenient time for them to stop the
Well,
excavation. Was
they
they
didn't-
found the door?
They didn't have a wizard. They didn't have someone who had knocked. They had a similar
That's
problem to
fine,
you,
that's
but they
fine.
didn't level.
It just occurred to me that
They
wow,
didn't
this
just
is
fight
an
the
easy
bad guy.
excavation.
I do
Yeah.
have a plan. If once we get into the door, we should probably shut that door. That way nobody follows us behind with any unfriendly, ideas. And then we put the ladder right beside it. So, like, even if they do get the door up, they're going to hit the ladder.
Well,
Are
since,
you worried about
This
that?
ladder goes where I go.
since we got a little
You
bit,
worried we're gonna hear a sandstorm coming?
I just want to make sure since we have just like a little bit of time left for the session tonight, I kind of want to hit like a stinger. So I do want to ask you guys to like, if you're going to move into the room like that, that's fine. But I was going to ask too, like, is there anything in the room that you can see? Again, one for one. Is there anything that you can see that you're interested in checking out? I'm just going to go from left
Guards.
to right, starting with Andy. So where's Nick's
Okay.
going to first? Are you going to the grate? The treasure chest with the cartouches?
It does look like a grate though.
It does.
No,
it does for
I'm
me.
actually
I don't see it.
I'm really curious about this thing here that seems to be lighting up
Okay.
with fire.
No, it's below you. Actually, the thing that you came in over, it's this
Oh.
this writing on the ground.
Oh, that seems to. Okay.
Yep.
But the door is still open then.
Yeah. So not.
And
With,
I would have told you that it was the like kind of what he told us, like that it was like an alarm letting
Okay.
something know that we are here.
yeah.
Got it. Thanks.
And it's been increasing in its heat
With
signature
each
since.
person
Okay.
that steps
People
through, it kind of gets brighter. Yeah.
So it's keeping count at least.
Right. It's like
It's a
one of those.
turnstile.
It's like one of those tickers. Yeah.
What can I make out about this thing here? In the
Sure. It's just more markings. We'll cover that. It does look like it's names, specifically of 4 individuals, which, again, looking at the number of sarcophaguses present, there'd be 1 missing party. But they do all look very similar. Since you don't know the language or have comprehend languages, cover that. Moving on, though. Brent, what's Ezekiel's first go-to?
I know it's probably bad, but I really kind of want to just kind of pop the chest open for a cursed weapon.
Okay, we'll deal with that at the end. Bodhi, what are you doing?
Can I try some amount of transmutation on the tar writing on the floor to try to like break it?
Yeah, so prestidigitation allows you to clean stuff.
Prestidigitation, mold earth, one of
Yeah.
those, just sort of like jumble it or clean it
Yeah,
up.
absolutely
I don't
fine.
trust it.
You definitely cause like a shift in the tar material, but what you'll notice is like lingering in the air where the tar was is the burning. And you would note too,
I did all I could. I'm
yeah,
walking in.
and what you would note too is as you're kind of like messing around with it, is the fire is not hot. It's just glowing, which is weird.
Got it.
Jeremy?
I kind of want my ladder back.
Okay, so you're waiting for everybody and then you're going to pull the ladder. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a perception check. And then, Shodi, what are you doing?
I'll be checking out one of the sarcophagus so that people aren't looking. Probably the one to the right.
Okay. So what you'll note with that 19 Uther is that there do not appear to be handholds on this side of the door.
All right, I'm gonna click it like on off, and take it all the way down, and turn the ladder like a portcullis at the bottom.
Got it. So you're locked in. Very smart. Actually,
We've got the button on our side, right?
Yeah. Well, there's one on either.
You can
side.
reach through it.
There's technically one on either side, but yeah, if you don't know how it functions, you're not going to go for that. But that's so clever. I'm going to give you inspiration.
Mummies don't have thumbs.
And then Joseph.
I want to look at
Papers.
these like papers.
Okay, perfect. Very good, very good. So you kind of reach down, looking at them, paying attention to the fact that they're kind of seemingly marked around the band. Looks like they have like a ribbon around it, and then the ribbon has been sealed with wax, similar in coloration to the jars outside. And you'll also notice around the lids of the Coptic jars, they appear to have been sealed with red wax as well. So very common motif throughout the space. You pick up the first one, and you crack the seal. And this is happening simultaneously as Nyx is kind of investigating the words. Uther has just finalized the process of making his little jail. And Bodhi, you had entered in after kind of just doing your best to rub it, and Uther kind of
just trying to fuck up a spell.
let you in before he dropped it down. And then Ezekiel reaches down to the treasure chest, and it does appear to be open, a simple latch mechanism. And you pull it open, it clicks, and the second it does, everyone here. Oh, what was Silas doing?
I told you I went to the right sarcophagus. So look.
That's right. That's right. It. Sorry, I don't know why you were off my screen. I remember you saying it, but I was like, okay.
Did you zoom way in?
I did. Not on
Wait,
not on my vision thing, on my thing, because the thing I had to for a thing. But anyways, the point is that sarcophagus, it appears to be kind of very simple and plain, and the face appears to have kind of like a metal mask over it, like it's some sort of guardian or soldier. But as Ezekiel flips open the lid, Silas, you investigating will basically be aware that the sarcophagus you're standing next to, and the sarcophagus across the way, and the sarcophagus in front of Ezekiel all open up. Sand shifts out of each one of them and forms into humanoid figures standing next to the sarcophagus. Next session will be beginning with initiative. Thanks for watching, those that did, and we will see you next session.
Bye.
Ciao.